Hi, my name is Carl Turner. I'm reporting from the FDA's meeting on social media and the internet. And I have with me Diane Zuckerman from the National Research Center for Women and Families. And Diane made some very interesting comments during her presentation, and I'd just like to have her talk more about some of the comments that she made. So what did you think about the meeting so far?
I think the meeting is fascinating, and everybody has a different point of view. The one disappointment is how few nonprofit groups are here. And as I explained, the healthcare reform debate is going on right now, and a lot of nonprofits that care about health are focused on that and don't have the resources to be here as well.
One of the things that you mentioned was about who should be responsible for monitoring social media, and I think one of the things you were suggesting was that the FDA should be responsible. Why not make the pharma industry responsible and then penalize them when they fail to live up to that?
Well, I do think that the companies should be responsible, but FDA has to be responsible for making sure that the companies do their job. So I didn't mean to imply that the FDA should do everything. Absolutely, the companies should make sure that information on the internet about their products is balanced, not just accurate, but balanced. You need the risk information, not just the information about how great the product is. And then the FDA needs to make sure that companies do that, and that if companies are behind the scenes buying promotional materials for the web, either paying for bloggers or paying for chat room or anything like that, then the companies are responsible for that information being balanced, and if they're lying about it or not doing their job, then they should be penalized by the FDA.
Right, so you also made comments about elevating the risk information up to the level of the benefits information. Now, in terms of products where the risk information is minuscule compared to the benefits that the actual product provides, how do you think that balance can be achieved? Because if you elevate the level of the risk information to the level of the benefits when it's statistically really not necessarily equivalent, how does that work?
Well, I disagree with your premise, but let me just say that I'm not saying you have to have this many inches on benefits and the equal number of inches on risk. I'm just saying that it has to be similarly prominent. So if you start out with the information about the benefits, you have to include the information about the risks early on. You can't have, scroll down for the next 20 minutes about all the benefits and have the risk information either on the bottom or 4 clicks away, which often happens. I mean, TV ads are like that too, where you watch a TV ad and it's beautiful and happy people and they're running through fields of flowers about how great this drug is, and then at the end some very, unintelligible, very garbled information about risks that almost sounds like a joke, like this drug couldn't kill you, which seems not credible in the face of these happy people running through fields. So the internet's the same thing. Beautiful graphics, people saying how wonderful a product is, and then 4 clicks away, maybe some information about risks. So risks don't have to take up as much room, but every medical product has risks, every single one. And that information should be clear, people should be able to understand it, and it should be just as accessible and noticeable.
You also talked about a few areas where you thought, it sounded like you were saying that pharma should not be involved in promoting their products in certain areas, such as text messaging and a few of those other areas. Care to elaborate on that at all?
Sure. Well, of course, text messaging is an issue because we all have to pay for our text messages. So we should not be forced to pay for text messages from companies that telling us stuff we don't want. I didn't mention Twitter, but obviously tweets are a big problem because they're so short. And any kind of promotional tweets are only going to talk about the benefits. There's not going to be time to talk about the risks, and they're not going to talk about the risks. So that's another issue. So we're just trying to delineate which are the kinds of new media that you can control in one way and which are the kinds that need to be controlled in another way. And it's changing all the time, so it's hard to say. But we're just saying that I mean, I personally already getting over 200 emails a day. I don't want any more, and I'm already getting promotional emails from a lot of companies, and I really don't want drug promotions in addition to all of that.
All right, thanks so much, Diane.